How can I stop my dog from licking me? That's what I'm talking about today. Kate sends in the next question and she asks, how can I train my dog not to lick people's feet? Okay, so dogs licking people, dogs licking you, could be that feet, face, hands, that kind of thing is really common, and there are a number of reasons why we might want to stop that, especially if it's all the time. So hygiene is one of them. But we'll start off with any behavioral modification, with any training that we're doing. Consistency is key. So it's really important that not only are you doing all of the steps that I'm talking about, or all of the advice given by other people, but everyone in your family needs to be carrying it out as well. So there's no good in you taking steps to reduce your dog licking you, to prevent your dog from licking you, if your children or your partner isn't taking the same steps. So all that's going to do is confuse your dog, because they're going to be getting mixed signals. We're going to be getting one signal from you saying no, that's not all right, and then another signal from the other people in the house saying no, that's fine. So consistency is really key to try and tackle anything like this, or any behavioral problem, or any training that we're doing at all. So the first step I would suggest would be just to ignore it. Now this might be easier for some people than others, depending on where your dog is licking, but what we want to do is we want to be teaching your dog that the behavior doesn't result in attention. So if they're licking you, they're not getting attention. If that's happening, the way to ignore them, cross your arms, don't look at them, don't talk to them, kind of be like a statue if you like. And then what we want to do is, when the behavior that you want is being shown, then you want to reward your dog. So if your dog's licking you, you ignore them, they then sit down and are nice and quiet by your side, then you can jump in and reward them. You can pet them, you can tell them how good they are, you can even give them treats, that kind of thing. So we want to ignore the bad behavior, the problem behavior, and we want to reward the good behavior. Now if that's not helping, if you're not making any progress with that, then we want to try and just not allow it to happen. So if your dog, in this case, is licking your feet, but if they're licking your hands, or if they're licking your face, then you just get up, don't look at your dog, don't talk to them, just get up and take yourself out of the room. And again, your dog is going to learn that, if they are licking, then the fun, the interaction stops, even the access to you stops. So you don't need to remove yourself for a long period of time. A minute or two is all it's going to take. But again, you're trying to teach your dog that if they do this, then they don't get any kind of reward at all. Another thing to think about is actually distracting your dog. So a lot of the time our dogs can lead pretty boring lives, and we want to give them things to do. So we can also make use of this licking behavior by encouraging them to lick something else. So that could be a licky pad, it could be a Kong, it could be looking for food and treats in a snuffle mat, it could be a food puzzle toy, it could be just having lots of different toys around that they like, and rotating those regularly. So there's a number of different things we can do just to keep them mentally active, to keep them engaged, and to give them something to do, so they're not just kind of pestering you and trying to lick you to get your attention because they're bored. So if we can kind of tackle that boredom, that might break the habit as well, or certainly help to break the habit. From in the same kind of theme of things, actually making sure that you're exercising your dog well, and giving them other forms of stimulation is also important. And then if you're doing these things and you're getting somewhere but it's not helping completely, another suggestion would be to use something like a bitter apple spray. So this is something that you can get, that you spray onto your skin, or if it's something that we use if a dog is trying to chew their bandage as well, you can spray it on their bandage. But basically it's like a bittering agent, so it's just something that doesn't taste very nice for your dog, so when they lick it, they don't like it. Now, a word of warning here though, if this is all you're doing, if all you're doing to try and break the problem behavior, to try and stop your dog from licking you, is to apply the bitter apple spray to the area that you don't want them to lick, then all that's going to happen is you're going to get another problem behavior. They're going to change their licking to somewhere else, or they're going to start doing something else that you don't want to do. So this should definitely only be used with the other strategies that I've just discussed. And then finally, if you're still struggling, if you're not getting anywhere, if you're having real battles to try and stop your dog from licking you, then you can talk to a behaviorist, talk to a dog trainer, who might come up with some strategies that are more appropriate for your specific individual dog. So hopefully that will stop your dog from licking you, and let me know how you get on in the comments down below.
You've been watching the Dr. Alex Answers video podcast. Remember to subscribe and head over to dralexanswers.com for any links, downloads, and get your question answered.